Rome's newest excavation, Via Alessandrina. Just steps from the Colosseum, buried beneath centuries of rubble and politics, lies one of Rome's most storied streets, atop the Imperial Fora. It was once the path of emperors, monks, and cardinals, and now archaeologists. This is Via Alessandrina, a forgotten artery in the heart of the Eternal City, and it's currently being excavated. Let's take a look at the ongoing project. Hey, it's Darius for Ancient Rome Live. Thanks for joining me. And I want to share with you a new excavation that's ongoing right here, the final removal of the remains of the Via Alessandrina. What's going to be revealed is more of the Forum of Trajan and more of the Forum of Augustus. Let's take a look at this ongoing excavation and look at the results, and look at the final project as envisioned by the city of Rome. All right, here it is, the in-process excavation and dismantling of the Via Alessandrina. Here it is in front of the Forum of Augustus, the magnificent three columns there of the Temple of Mars Ultor. So what we're going to have is more of the space in front of the temple revealed inside the Forum of Augustus. This is a long-term project as part of that big assessment of the archaeological park along Via Fori Imperiali. And as a result, we'll have this area, which is quite messy, all going to be covered over with wooden planks for a sort of large platform system for you to enjoy a closer view of the Forum of Augustus, among other things. And it is going to be impressive when it's completed. But right now, of course, it's a job site, and we can document right here that dismantling, that ongoing excavation in front of the Forum of Augustus. With the abandonment and stripping of the ancient sites of the Imperial Fora, the ground level was artificially raised up as the area became filled with smaller homes and orchards and gardens. In the 10th century, an oratory church was built right into the ruins of a Roman temple of Mars Ultor in the Forum of Augustus, called San Basilio in Scala Mortuorum, or St. Basil at the Staircase of the Dead. The name recalls the subterranean burial place of the church. The medieval neighborhood eventually gave way to the late 16th century Quartiere Alessandrino, the Alessandrine Quarter, named after Cardinal Michele Bonelli, who was from the province of Alessandria in Piemonte, and he was the nephew of Pope Pius V. He carved the road through a densely built Renaissance neighborhood that had grown up on the top of the ancient ruins. This new Quartiere Alessandrino, named for him, included a road called the Via Alessandrina that was 400 meters long, stretching from the Column of Trajan to the Basilica of Maxentius. The neighborhood included both modest shops and homes, as well as impressive palaces. Also, the Conservatory of St. Euphemia and the Church of St. Urbano, and it included on its route the visible and famed Colonnace, two columns from the Forum Transitorium. In the 1930s, Mussolini saw the Imperial Fora not just as buried memory, but as a political stage. He demolished the entire Alessandrino neighborhood, houses, churches, and convents, to make way for a grand new road, Via dell'Impero, today's Via dei Fori Imperiali, revealing the magnificent remains of the Imperial Fora structures like the Markets of Trajan and the Forum of Augustus. The Via Alessandrina remained visible and in use for pedestrians to stroll along it, even as much of Rome's medieval and Renaissance life was erased in favor of monumental antiquity. Starting in the 1990s and accelerating with the excavation of 2017, archaeologists began to re-explore the area, not just for ruins of emperors, but for traces of the lives that came after. And in 2017, a portion of the Via Alessandrina was excavated right here in front of the Markets of Trajan, all the way down to the pavement of the Forum of Trajan. The dig revealed antiquities like this marble head that had been embedded in a medieval wall, today on display in the Markets of Trajan Museum. Today, new well-planned archaeological routes are being planned, created around the remains of ancient Rome, and one that doesn't skip from empire to fascism, but walks us through the centuries of memory, from Augustus to nuns, from saints to citizens. This has led to the final excavation of the entire stretch of the Via Alessandrina that still remains. All right here on the remains of the Forum of Trajan. There's Markets of Trajan behind me, but this directly behind me is the remains of inside the portico system of the Forum of Trajan. And what we have here behind me is the process of dismantling, excavating of the Via Alessandrina. You've seen in previous videos that the Via Alessandrina extended all the way on the other side here toward the column of Trajan. It's already been removed right here in front of the Markets of Trajan. That took place partially during COVID, partially during the past couple of years, and now the project is to continue to eradicate this road. And right here we even have a little backhoe, so you are digging through the layers. We're going to get all the way down to the ancient layer up here, the Forum of Trajan, and on the other side we're going to have revealed the space, the piazza in front of the Temple of Mars Ultor inside the Forum of Augustus. And then when it's all said and done, the entire area here will be treated and we'll have a series of very legible, accessible, open platforms that will bring us closer and closer to have a great unobstructed view of these ancient sites, the Markets of Trajan, the Forum of Trajan, and the Forum of Augustus. Right now, for years, it's been a bit of a mess because we have a lot of the medieval foundations of various structures tied with St. Basilius that was once in the remains of the Temple of Mars Ultor. That whole complex, that church complex, is long gone due to the excavations in the time of Mussolini. But then you go down to these ancient levels and reveal the foundations in the 1990s. So this has never been treated comprehensively, formatted such that the public can enjoy and understand what they're looking at. That process, that attempt now to make that archaeological walkway through the Centro Storico, through the Via Fori Imperiali, around the Campidoglio, around the Palatine Hill, around the Colosseum. It's all happening right now. I've done a separate video on that, but here we see the process now in earnest, and we're going to see the excavation continuing, and then finally the reformatting of the pavement level for the public, as well as a reduced road. The Via Fori Imperiali will shrink for the cars even further and further enhanced for the general public. It's an exciting time. It's really neat to be able to share this with you and document this with you. Today, Via Alessandrina has become a part of a visionary project, a walkable path connecting the Forum of Caesar, Nerva, Augustus, and Trajan with new interpretive paths, elevated walkways, and interactive displays. It's not just a ruin, but it's a story that you can walk through. And it's a reminder that Rome wasn't built in a day, and it wasn't built once. It was built again and again, the layers of history. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the like button, and I'll see you somewhere in the ancient world.